In the last episode, I received a message from a listener who asked me a question. The question was, what does Amazon have to do with a 250-year-old scam? Because of this question, I have prepared a package to show you. So, let's look into it. To tell you how Amazon is related to a 250-year-old scam, we have to go back 250 years. In Pressburg, the Kingdom of Hungary, however now known as Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, and then the legislative centre of the Kingdom of Hungary, but now it's Slovakia. It was the legislative centre of Hungary from 1536 to 1783. Here there was a man called Wolfgang von Kempelen. Von Kempelen attended the court of Maria Theresa of Austria. Here he saw Francois Pelletier perform an illusion. However, seeing this did not please him. Afterward he vowed to return to the court of Maria Theresa and the palace with an invention that would be more amazing than any illusion they had seen before. When he came back to the palace, he was not alone. He was joined by a Turk. However, this was not a real person. Instead, he introduced it as an automaton chess player. He told onlookers that the chess player was working using complicated gears and wheels inside, and he opened the doors of the cabinet that the Turk was sitting on and behind. And when he opened these doors, he revealed the insides and invited the onlookers to come and inspect. With the doors open on the front and the back, he waved a lit candle behind to show the workings and show that they could see all the way through the machine. When they had seen this, he would invite a member of the audience up to play against the machine. They watched in awe as the robot seemingly played chess and won against all of its opponents. The Turk was taken on a tour of Europe by von Kempelen, playing opponents like Napoleon, Emperor of the French, who even made the automaton knock all the pieces off the board in anger at the Emperor's cheating. The Turk would respond to questions in English, French and German, and this would really amaze the audience. However, all was not as it seemed. Seeing the amazing abilities of the automaton, and the fact that they were much greater than anything that had been seen at the time before, in a machine that was made in just 6 months, and here is a picture of how somebody thought the machine was actually working. Although not quite right, he did have the right idea of what might have been going on. And many people questioned the legitimacy of this machine, and rightly so. Neither the clockwork visible on the left, nor the drawer that housed the chess set, was the full width of the cabinet. Among other things, it was also observed that the chessboard was thin enough that magnets could work through it, and that pieces of magnets were attached to the bottom of the chess pieces. Also, other magnets concealed inside the cabinet and positioned in such a way that they couldn't be influenced. There were also numbers on the bottom of the board on the inside, and a pantograph-style controls for the man, which corresponded to a chessboard to allow a controller on the inside of the cabinet to position the hands of the Turk. However, not everyone was quite so suspicious at the time, and there were even reports that some people were fearful that the machine was actually controlled by evil spirits. Exhibitions of the Turk were popular for many years, and after the death of von Kempelen, his son sold it to a man who took it on tour across North America, where it stayed and changed hands and was eventually sold to John Kearsley Mitchell for just $400. It would only be in 1854 when the museum that Mitchell's son had donated it to lost the machine to a fire that Mitchell's son would reveal the entire secret of the Turk through articles in the Chess Monthly. And this is when people would find out how it had really worked, which I already told you. This is the end of the history of the Mechanical Turk itself. It was not until 2005, when Amazon expanded its business beyond book selling, that the connection came about. It was actually around this time that I met Jeff Bezos, but that's a whole nother story. However, this is because in 2005, Amazon launched the Amazon Mechanical Turk. Amazon Mechanical Turk is a system whereby businesses can hire people to do tasks via computers. Businesses have the brain power of real people on tap and can submit tasks to them. The small tasks are known as human intelligence tasks, and they're tasks that artificial intelligence is not able to do, but humans can easily do, such as identifying content in images, reading handwriting, or writing descriptions. This is known as artificial intelligence. Notice the double artificial. In this situation, people offer up their brain power to bridge the gap between the intelligence-based tasks that businesses need completing and the abilities of current artificial intelligence. As in the way the Mechanical Turk of the past acted as a robust problem-solving machine, while actually being driven by human intelligence, Amazon can now do the same. This all does raise some interesting questions. With all the predictions about artificial intelligence taking our jobs and being able to do almost anything better than us humans, will we be reduced down to spending our days renting out our brain power to companies? Even so, would working online mean more competition? Or perhaps we could end up working in Amazon Turk-based world where artificial intelligence finds our individual abilities and lets us maximally use them. That's a nice idea. But what could this 250-year-old illusion mean for our future?